Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
Cardinals win. How about that celebration after drawing a base on balls?
That's it. The Cardinals win it. Greg Garcia, a walk. Win number 65 for the Cardinals, the wildest in 2015. This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and a weekend series at Busch Stadium continues. It's the Colorado Rockies, the St. Louis Cardinals playing Game 2 of their 4-game set. With Jim Hayes, Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Delighted to have you with us for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. It was an ugly game, Tim, last night. There's no doubt about that. It ends with a walk. And maybe lost in all that was the performance of Matt Carpenter. He was spectacular.
Danny, Matt Carpenter has played 532 games with the Cardinals. Perhaps none more important with the circumstances surrounding last night's game. The Cardinals hadn't scored in 22 consecutive innings, and Matt Carpenter had the time of his life.
Matt Carpenter 7 for his last 15 with a pair of home runs. He's driven in 4. And tonight it's Michael Wacha. Wacha and the Cardinals coming up. The Cubs, White Sox, and Braves, a record of 1-1, ERA of 6.88. What he has enjoyed this year is the best run support in the National League. The Cardinals' offense has given him over 6 runs a game, and Michael Wacha will get the start tonight. Wacha is looking for victory number 12. Kyle Kendrick will go for the Rockies. It's the Lou Brock bobblehead giveaway. Lou will be with us in the 3rd inning. Should be a lot of fun. Is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. What a beautiful night for baseball here in the Gateway City, the backdrop of the Arch. And we're inside Busch Stadium, where the St. Louis Cardinals are a Major League best 65-37 and a 5.5 game lead in the National League Central Division. Charlie Blackmon of the Colorado Rockies will lead it off, followed by the switch-hitting shortstop recent pickup Jose Reyes. Carlos Gonzalez, still a Rocky, he'll bat 3rd. Nolan Arenado, DJ LeMahieu, Ben Polson, Nick Hundley hit a long home run last night. Brandon Barnes, your left fielder, and Kyle Kendrick is pitching and batting 9th. On the bench for Walt Weiss, Daniel Descalso, an old friend, along with Corey Dickerson from the left side, Michael McHenry, the backup catcher, and Drew Stubbs. From the right side, Michael Wacha, the right-hander, is making his 16th start of the season.
Michael 0-1 against the Rockies. He has never faced them at Busch Stadium. Much better pitcher here, as are most Cardinal pitchers.
As a matter of fact, last time he saw them, only lasted 4 2/3 and gave up 12 hits. Not the first, won't be the last to have a tough night at Coors Field.
Right.
Mentioned in our open that the Cardinals really need to see something here from Michael Wacha. Last 3 starts, he has not been sharp. And a fly ball lifted out to left. Steven Piscotty is there, puts it away. Hyundai pitch arsenal for Michael Wacha. And anytime, Tim, you talk about Wacha, it seems like you always gravitate towards his excellent changeup.
Excellent changeup. A cutter working on that this year. The curveball's coming along, but he's still, when he's effective, a fastball changeup pitcher.
We saw last night the Rockies struggle with pitching, but they can hit. 274 as a team. That's first in the National League. There's a strike to Jose Reyes. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Very difficult for any pitcher, any young pitcher in the major leagues to set standards like Michael Wacha did and then continue on a start-to-start basis to live up to them.
Oh, watch out. I see a foul ball like that. I can't help but think about Juan Encarnacion. It was at the on-deck circle for the Cardinals. There's a ground ball. No, that's a line drive. As Reyes went down to get it, soft liner to Colton Wong and a nice play. But Juan Encarnacion was on deck. Aaron Miles was at the plate. Many times with 2 strikes, he would swing very late just to stay alive. As you get a look at the Cardinals defense presented by Dobbs, and he struck Encarnacion on the face, and ultimately it ended his career.
What a way for a career to end.
Terribly. Nice play, Colton Wong. Here's Carlos Gonzalez hitting .278. 21 home runs. He's driven in 52. First pitch is strike, and Wacha looks sharp here early on.
His rhythm, you can tell the early rhythm for Michael Wacha.
That's ripped out to deep right field. Hayward going back at the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. Gonzalez with a 2-out double. Almost picked up home run number 22.
Now the Cardinals realize that they're facing the same Rockies team, but a much better Gonzalez hitter. Cargo, since the last time the Cardinals faced the Rockies 7 weeks ago, has been red hot. Reminds me of a story of the great Billy Williams with the Chicago Cubs. He was hitting about 118 when the Cubs first came to town. And Bob Skinner, an outfielder, said, look at him now and enjoy this because it's not going to last long. And the next time he came to town, he was hitting 340.
Different looking player.
Different looking player. It was just a matter of time. Too good a hitter.
We were all talking about before the game in our booth with Mike Shannon about the play that Arenado made last night, going all the way to the dirt in fair territory with a remarkable catch.
Remarkable. Right to the left part of your screen, that shot that Tom Mee had.
That's hit into right field. It is slicing, and it is a foul ball.
Two-time Gold Glover. He's 24 years old. He can cover so much ground at third base, and he can cover the plate like he owns it. Last night we saw him time and time again go to right field with 2 strikes and then pull the ball. As a matter of fact, the first time up, that's what he did. Went to right field. The next pitch, Carlos Martinez tried to crowd him, and he doubled down the left field line.
1 ball and 1 strike. Chopped left side. That's a fair ball. Long throw for Carpenter, and picked at first by Brandon Moss. Nicely done on both ends. Rockies strand a man. Good pick by Moss. Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first. That takes a hit, and RBI away. No score after a half inning. followed by Stephen Piscotty, then Colton Wong. Johnny Peralta will bat cleanup. Jason Hayward, Yadier Molina, Brandon Moss, his first start as a Cardinal. Randall Grichuk had a tough night last night in Game 1, and Michael Wacha, your pitcher, batting ninth. Cardinals have one hitter from the left side on their bench. That's Greg Garcia, who drew the walk that won the game. Then Peter Borges, Mark Reynolds, Pete Kozma, Tony Cruz from the right side. Kyle Kendrick, the former Philly, getting the start tonight.
See those numbers, 4 and 11, 6.33, throw it away. And that's what you do with every Rockies pitcher, particularly when they're on the road.
Matt Carpenter hitting .370 as a leadoff man. I think he's made the statement he likes it here.
Talking in the Post-Dispatch this morning about he's back in his old spot and implying he didn't want to leave.
Exactly. Average at .261 overall. 1 ball and 1 strike.
His exact quote was, I'll hit anywhere Mike tells me to. He said, but I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I love hitting first.
And he loves hitting against the Rockies. 6 for 17, pair of home runs this year, 5 RBIs. See the outfield shading Carpenter. This is what they did last night. Just a little bit to the opposite way. Arenado on that previous pitch was hopping towards left. You know, the left side of the infield.
He's got a lot of room over there to wander.
I'd say
it's Rocky Mountain High on the left side of the infield.
And now with 2 strikes, he goes to that shortstop position. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. More than half the hits this year for Carpenter have come with 2 strikes. A tremendous 2-strike hitter. Two. And Carpenter again. High fly ball, deep center. Wave this one goodbye. Wow. Carpenter with his 13th home run. This man is red hot.
That's the longest ball he's ever hit to center field. That's about 5 feet from where the dirt starts in center. All you had to do was look at Charlie Blackmon, the center fielder. He took 2 steps back and forgot it. Charlie thinking, no way to run this one down unless I had a ticket or a net.
You just said it's the longest he's ever hit it to center. That may be the longest home run we've seen hit to center at this ballpark this year from anybody.
Wow.
A no-doubter off the bat of Carpenter, and here's Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty with a high pop-up. On the outfield grass, it's Reyes. And there's one away as we take a look at Tim's Toyota keys to the game.
That's pretty easy. The Cardinal ship was listing a little bit last night, and they righted it in a weird game. And they're trying to take advantage of it. Matt Carpenter's home run, just completing the series, started last night. That's 3 home runs and 6 at-bats with 5 RBIs and 5 runs scored.
And Wong with a base hit into right field. The Hyundai pitch arsenal on Kyle Kendrick.
You can see with that sinker and cutter, he's a contact pitcher. As a matter of fact, the best game that he threw and has thrown in the major leagues happened at Busch Stadium. on the 26th of May, 2012, when he pitched his first complete game shutout against the Cardinals.
Now Johnny Peralta. Wong, the runner at first base. 7th career leadoff homer for Matt Carpenter. 3rd time he's done that this year. Wong is leading towards second base, and the 0-1 make it 0-2. Last night was just an ugly game any way you want to look at it. Really, for both sides.
Really.
Inside.
That old poker expression, winners laugh and tell jokes, losers say let's deal. There was nobody dealing last night. Neither side.
It was ugly. There wasn't a flow to it. Defensive lapses with both teams.
Missed cutoff men.
It was hard watching Axford at the end of that game, and we showed you the struggles he had recently, the last 7 to 10 days. It reminded me of watching him at the end of his run with Milwaukee, when he just couldn't find the strike zone. Fastball command nowhere near the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
In an ugly game like that, however, a beautiful thing of brilliance with Arenado's catch down the left field line.
Worth the price of admission to watch him play defense.
He really is.
You don't say that about a lot of players. Just a handful.
Just both sides of the ball with him. Leads the majors in RBIs.
Peralta stays alive, and it was Greg Garcia who's played in all of 25 major league games as the hero, and he's been at the plate for 2 walk-offs, in which one was a walk and the other one was a hit by pitch. Crazy game. The 2-2. Instead, a check on Colton Wong. There's a look at Greg Garcia behind Carlos Martinez. Made the start last night. Two. Trade deadline is come and gone, and the Cardinals today, if you missed it, they added Jonathan Broxton. Big, burly right-hander. We've seen him with Milwaukee. Former closer, has over 100 career saves, and he'll be in the bullpen for the Cardinals.
Wong's seen him enough. Good time to run.
Not running, and the 2-2 is driven out to right center. That ball is down. Wong on his way to third. Peralta with the base hit. Three of the first 4 for the Cardinals in their lineup with base hits tonight. And it brings in Hayward with runners at the corners and just 1 out. Barnes, Blackman, and Gonzalez in the outfield for the Rockies. Presented by Dobbs. Arenado, Reyes, LeMahieu, and Paulson on the infield. Hundley is behind the plate.
Pitching coach Steve Foster out to talk to Kyle Kendrick. And the Rockies and Steve Foster may lead the league in visits to the mound in the first 3 innings of games.
Surprised there's not
on the road.
A stat for that.
Yeah, I am too. Particularly with this team. Last in the National League in pitching in almost every category.
mentioned they're first in batting average as a team. The ERA for the Rockies is 15th in the National League, dead last. Starters ERA second from the bottom. Relief corps is at the bottom. Look at the list of all the different categories they can be a part of, and you see a lot of 14s and 15s for the Rockies. And a strike to Hayward. The ERA for Kendrick 6.33. He gets the third best run support in the league, but that ERA tells you why he is well below that 500 mark. Hayward, a fly ball. Out of play. Michael Wacha gets the top run support, by the way. He enjoys that, first in the National League. When he's on the mound, the Cardinals averaging over 6 runs a game. No balls, 2 strikes on Hayward. Hits it the other way, slicing into left center. And the catch is made by Brandon Barnes. Run will tag. And that's Colt Wong to make it a 2-0 St. Louis lead. Near collision out there with Barnes and Blackman.
Yeah, it was close. Good job by Jason Hayward, even with 2 strikes, getting the fly ball deep enough to score Colton Wong. Barnes cutting in front, almost closing his eyes as he cut in front of Charlie Blackman.
Last night we saw Dickerson in left. He went for a diving attempt on a line drive by Hayward. Hurt his ribs. Molina. Nice play here by Reyes to second. Everybody safe.
Now, Jose Reyes has not been in the National League in a couple of years. He might have had more time getting Molina at first base instead of rushing this throw in an awkward fashion.
It's a great point.
Trying to get the faster Peralta.
I think you're right.
If he pivots, he's got a clear shot because Peralta's cleared and LeMahieu is cleared, and I think that Reyes would have had time to get Molina going to first base.
Here's Brandon Moss, a shift on for him. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Moss made his Cardinals debut last night, went 0 for 2. The deal with Cleveland sent Rob Kaminsky, a left-hander, 20-year-old that was rated as the number 5 prospect by Baseball America, number 3 by MLB.com in the Cardinals system, to Cleveland. And the Cardinals picked up Moss. And he's got power. 30 home runs back in 2013. And he had 50 RBIs, Tim, on a team this year averaging under 4 runs a game. So he shows up. He's the team leader in ribbies for the Cardinals. Hitting just .215. The 1-1.
Often when Brandon was hitting, he didn't have many RBI possibilities because of Jason Kipnis, one of the top hitters in the American League. If there were runners on base, Kipnis usually takes care of them. One of the really true good hitters in the American League.
4 hits in the inning. A 2-run lead and a 2-1 pitch.
.78-mile-an-hour changeup on a fastball count.
The 2-2. And Moss smokes it out to center field. Hard hit, but Blackman is there. 4 hits, 2 runs, 2-0 after an inning of play. Fountain of frozen drink, just 50 cents the next day at On the Run. They score, you pour, you earned it. Matt Carpenter, a long home run. And now 3 in this series. Carpenter was a multi-home run game last night. And so when he has multi-hit games, the Cardinals in his career are 54 games above 500. That's setting the stage, is it not?
There are some statistics that just roar out of their cubby hole, and that's one of them.
The strike to DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu is hitting .325 with 4 home runs, and he has driven in 42. Was hit on the hip last night by Martinez. Some of the players came out of the dugout for Colorado. Emotions were flying high later in the game. Colton Wong was hit by a pitch, and that's a base hit. Breaking ball that was up in the zone. A left-hander is getting loose in the pen right now for Colorado. It looks like Kyle Kendrick going down with the training staff, so his night could be through. He did not look comfortable at all in the bottom of the first as they get on the phone to the bullpen, so we may see a pitching change in the bottom of the second.
If so, one of those invisible injuries that perhaps didn't rear its head until he got out there for game competition. It was okay warming up, but something could have happened. Tweak here, tweak there, who knows?
Yeah, bomb and 4 hits. That never helps either.
No. It's true.
Here's Ben Paulson, but maybe that explains why the Cardinals had their success. Again, he did not look comfortable or sharp in that first inning. No balls, 2 strikes on Paulson. He's hitting .287, 7 home runs. He's driven in 27 this year. I understand that my partner tonight, Tim McCarver, will be live at Shannon's after the game.
That is correct.
You and Mike telling stories.
Number 18, who moved from right field to third base in 1967, and that was the difference.
And there's a strikeout, first of the night for Michael Wacha. Some of the opening day starters that have had issues this year. Alvarez is hurt for Miami. Kendrick, the high ERA that we talked about. Loesch with Milwaukee, Drew Hutchinson, and Bartolo Colon. You just never know going into a major league season how things will play out. Here's Nick Hundley, hit a long home run last night, his 8th of the year, and hits this one into deep right field. Hayward back at the wall. He's got it. The catch by Hayward. LeMahieu back to the bag at first.
When an outfielder, and it's a tough play, when an outfielder thinks the ball is going to be near the fence, you reach for the fence, go as far as you can, and then if necessary, back off from the fence. You see Hayward, that left hand out, a little jump, probably hits the top of the wall if he doesn't make the play. May have gone out. Probably top of the wall. But a good play nonetheless.
Here's Brandon Barnes, a left fielder, hitting .281 with 1 home run. He's driven in 11.
I'd like to explain, if I may, the runner, by the way, LeMahieu, actually thought that ball, he went as far as he could, knowing that the play was going to be tough, and he could easily get back to first as he does. I'd like to explain that thing about Mike Shannon. Roger Maris was obtained by Bob Howsam, the general manager, in the winter of 1966. Mike Shannon was our regular right fielder, and by him moving to third, that paved the way for Maris to play right, and that was a key thing that happened for the world champion Cardinals that year. Because had Mike not done that, had he resisted saying, for instance, I'm a right fielder and I'm staying in right, I don't want to move to third. In those days, there's no way you get rid of somebody like that. But the fact that he offered to move, that he said that's fine, and ultimately he and Roger Maris became the best of friends. So talk about things working out from every angle.
And think about the angle of the throws and how strong your arm has to be at those positions.
And I mean, Mike Shannon had a cannon hanging from his right shoulder.
The 2-1 pitch. We saw him there in that shot. He was visiting with the great Lou Brock, and we hope to visit with Lou coming up. The key acquisition of 1964. His bobblehead night. You'll see Lou periodically here at the ballpark. 3-2 the count.
That 3-1 fastball right on the corner.
Runner goes with this pitch on 3-2. Hit out of play. Hayward giving chase. 8-10 rows deep. We'll do it again. You mentioned something of interest to me, just watching Michael Wacha and his pace here tonight. Seems like he's confident in what he's got and how he feels.
And that's the point, Dan. Because when you're working rapidly, when your pace and rhythm just reeks of confidence, it's obviously the guys in the outfield can tell it, the guys in the infield can tell it, and the most important guy, your catcher, can really tell it. And it decides how you call a game.
Sure.
And the speed with which you put your fingers down.
It's another 3-2 pitch here from Michael Wacha. We'll do it again. I'm not sure there's a nicer guy than Lou Brock, by the way. He is so nice.
He is a sweetheart. He really is.
It's a good way to put it, a sweetheart.
He is.
Always with a smile, always signing autographs, saying hello.
Never changed. He was that way in 1964
Is that right?
on June 15th when we met in Houston.
Little tapper back to Wacha. He'll step and throw. Makes the play. Rockies strand a runner. Their second of the night. We're midway through 2. And the Cardinals own a 2-0 lead. New pitchers in, Aaron Laffey and Kyle Kendrick. 1 inning of work. That was it as we check in with Jim Hayes.
And Matt Holliday told me he believes that he will play again this season. He's just not sure when. He says it's really too soon to tell. Holliday suffered a grade 2 quad strain on Wednesday running to first. He says he felt it pop after 3 steps. He says it is related to the quad strain he had just come back from, just not as severe. As to when he'll return, Holliday told me it's one of those deals you know when you know. He's already gotten a PRP injection, which is a plasma shot designed to aid healing. Dan, he didn't get one of those with his first strain. He's hoping it'll help speed his recovery, Dan.
And Jim, it happened against Colorado, and there are the numbers on Aaron Laffey or Chevy called to the pen. The first time was against the Rockies, and again, he doesn't know when he'll be back. At what percentage was he when he was playing, you think? And did he mention that in talking with the media?
He said he had actually felt like he had gotten over the hump. I asked him when he was running to first, was that the first time he really tried to test that quad? And he said no, he had tested it a couple of times going from first to third or breaking on balls in the outfield. So he felt like he had gotten past it, but Dan, apparently he hadn't.
All right, Jimmy, thanks. Randall Grichuk, Michael Wacha, Matt Carpenter. Cardinals have RBIs from Carpenter and Hayward tonight. Matt Carpenter's 13th home run, a solo shot. And Grichuk, 8th place hitter tonight, hits it down the right field line, and the catch is made. What a catch. Carlos Gonzalez. What a play.
Going into the stands to make that play. Gonzalez is not a tall guy. He's only about 5'9", but jumping up over the wall, watch. Good play. Almost like Hayward going back on the ball. Cargo going to his left and extending that left arm out.
Now Michael Wacha hitting 176. Looks at strike 1. That's a heck of a play there by Cargo.
Sure was.
Backhanded by DJ LeMahieu. Wacha retired. Quickly 2 outs. Sometimes you'll see a lineup, Tim, as you know. The lineup is prepared to face the starter, and maybe there are splits that stand out, and all of a sudden 1 inning into the game you throw that out the window.
Switch pitch.
Yeah.
You go from the right-hander to the left-hander because the opposition's lineup is made to face a right-handed pitcher. Switch pitch, we used to call it.
And with 2 outs, nobody on, it's Matt Carpenter. The question will be how far they can go with Laffey, and then subsequently after that with some of the available pitchers that they have.
Really an ideal situation for a pitcher because those 2 runs that were scored off your starter and not off me. That's what he's thinking, and I'm serious. You know, pitchers are very unusual.
I know you love pitchers.
I love pitchers. I'm telling you. I told you on my tombstone is going to be pitchers did this.
I love that.
Well,
you didn't, but I do. I think it's funny.
Yeah, I'd like to delay it as long as I could. If that's all right.
May say after that ... and Dan.
Maybe. Haven't gotten that far yet.
2 balls, 1 strike on Matt Carpenter. Mentioned that Carpenter is hitting .370 from a leadoff spot this year, .225 from everywhere else in the lineup. Two and 2 the count, 2 outs. And nobody on. Carpenter again, high drive, deep right. Did he do it? Is it gone? It's off the top of the wall. Gonzalez into second base. Carpenter beats the throw. He thinks it's a home run, and they're going to take a look at it.
Mike Matheny springing out of the dugout Immediately when that ball hit, it was so tough to tell where it hit.
There's about 1.5 feet from the top of the wall to the advertisement strip that you see out there. And that is tough to tell from our angle, obviously, where we're situated, but the replay should easily tell. That's the top of the wall.
Yeah. Looked like it hit the top of the wall. The Gulf sign to the right. One more look. No home run.
I agree. Top of the wall. Regardless, what a series so far here for Matt Carpenter. Holy smokes.
Last night, first time in his career, he had 4 runs scored, 4 RBIs, and 4 hits. The only other player that has done that in the major leagues this year with 4 runs, 4 RBIs, and 4 hits in the same game, Josh Donaldson of the Toronto Blue Jays. And what a year he's having.
And what a lineup that is now for Toronto.
Oh, with Tulo over there.
Batista, Encarnacion, Donaldson.
David Price in the rotation now.
I'd have to say that they, at least initially looking at it, could be the winners of the trade deadline on paper.
It seems to me. Yeah, I agree with that.
Last leadoff man to have 2 home runs in back-to-back games, by the way. Lou Brock, 1967.
Give me that again.
2 home runs, back-to-back games. So 2 last night.
As a leadoff hitter.
As a leadoff man. Last
I remember that streak. That was 67, you said?
1967.
I remember that streak. I think he ended up with 21 home runs that year. And he was hitting them out everywhere. Left field, center field, right field. Don't realize how strong Lou Brock was.
Was the last Cardinal leadoff man to do it. Carpenter has a chance to match him tonight, and almost did. Now Stephen Piscotty popped out to short his first time up. One ball, 1 strike.
It's an extra star, by the way, if you match him on his bobblehead night.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to give him extra.
The last to do it, back-to-back leadoff man. Then on the previous leadoff man's bobblehead night, it's never happened.
Never happened.
Never happened.
It may never even be a possibility again.
What are your initial impressions of Stephen Piscotty?
Don't know. Jury's out.
Way too early.
Yeah. The thing about the Cardinals, they've had to make so many adjustments, so many changes, bringing up Greg Garcia, Stephen Piscotty, last year Randall Grichuk, trade for Jason Hayward.
And a strikeout of Piscotty. We hope to visit with the Hall of Famer, number 20, when we come back. The great Lou Brock, his bobblehead night. 2-0 after 2. His way to the Hall of Fame. There's his team ranks with St. Louis. A total of 3,023 hits for the great Lou Brock, 938 stolen bases, and a few bobbleheads along the way.
What a player.
What a player.
It was a privilege, believe me, Dan.
Not many times do you get to have Hall of Famer Tim McCarver, Hall of Famer Lou Brock in the same booth. And first of all, it's always great to have you with us.
Well, it's nice to be here and to chat with you and my good friend Tim here. The only thing I remember about Tim, he actually won a dance contest.
What?
I did.
Yeah,
I
go
did.
ahead, Lou. Let's call him out right now.
You know who the MC was in 1957? Wink Martindale.
What?
In Memphis. That's a fact.
Yeah. Now, why do you bring that up instead of what a great... No, not you. Lou. All the great things that Tim did.
Because
you're bringing up a dance contest?
Like Tim can't dance.
Now, Tim, when you think of Lou Brock, what comes to mind?
Oh, too many things. I've never seen anyone accelerate after one step faster than Lou Brock.
He also said to me, Tim did, he never saw you in the trainer's room.
Never.
That's probably true. I came to the big leagues and I had a Gruden muscle pull, and I didn't want anybody to know. And it took about 2 years before that could heal. By the time I had enough courage to walk into the trainer's room, that Gruden muscle had healed, and I was in St. Louis. And, man, all of those quick start that I've been missing in Chicago actually started to manifest itself here in St. Louis.
The big question I know that fans have always talked about and wondered, why did it click in St. Louis and not Chicago? Why did it happen here with the St. Louis Cardinals?
I think it had begun to happen in Chicago. My last 3 or 4 weeks there, I probably was the hottest hitter in baseball. Average went from 230 to 240, so nobody's watching. So that's why they couldn't see that kind of a thing.
In early June, I get early June, from middle of May to middle June.
Yeah,
because you're traded on June 14th. That was a trading
right.
deadline.
About 2 weeks prior to that, I really pounded the ball better than 400 did.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and then my it just kept it up because now I was able to hold my own in the big leagues.
Yeah, you said in our speaker series you had figured it out about 2 weeks prior to the trade to St. Louis. You had figured out who Lou Brock was as a player.
Well, that's true, and Tim knows this, that we players sometimes have to reach a point where we now know we can play with these guys, and that happened to me about 2 weeks before.
The mental part of it, you were so strong mentally, Lou.
Right, well, you had to because you guys were tough on it. You know, Dan, I get traded to the Cardinals, and they looked at me as a Cub player. They said, we the St. Louis Cardinals, and Brock, you stand over there.
we everybody loved Ernie Broglio, and we didn't know Lou.
So, Tim, your initial impression, you hear, okay, the front office has done something. You're thinking, all right, great. We've traded Broglio for Brock, and
I've got to
saying...
say that was not the sentiment. Not only from me, but almost everybody.
25-man team. I mean, on the team felt that way. And Bill White even said, I guess our next trade would be Kirk Flood for a bag of peanuts.
But Johnny Keane had a meeting with you, Lou, and he said, run anytime you want, right?
Well, he said my left field is going to steal bases, and I want you to be the left fielder. Can you steal bases? I said, no, but I can play left field. And he said, no, you misunderstood. My left fielder will steal bases. Are you now a base stealer? Yes, sir. So that's how it's happened.
And he gave you the right to run all the time, and you changed the game in that regard. Maury Wills had stolen 104 bases in '62, was the MVP in the National League, and you helped elevate, and not only helped elevate it, you were for a decade, as far as base running was concerned, until Ricky Henderson came along. You were the man.
Well, you got the confidence. Remember, I just said these guys in St. Louis, I was not their teammate. I was just on the team. And the manager gave me the green light, and then he tells me to tell those players where to go. And I came out of there, and I told them all.
You surely did.
You're right.
You did.
Yeah.
But you became close friends in a hurry, though, Lou.
Yeah, I know. I understand that.
You really
yeah.
did.
0-1 is hit left side. That's Carpenter. And he'll make the plays. The Rockies strand runner. You're going to stay with us. You are staying with us. You can't get up and run out of here.
Yeah, no, I got to talk about my golf tournament.
Well, yeah. Might be the first time you've ever heard anybody say "stay here." Because Johnny Keane.
That's the point.
That
with the great Lou Brock. We'll take a quick timeout. Number 20 is with us here in the booth. .327 games, 50 steals, and he wore number 24. Comes to St. Louis. Slightly different, just a little bit. Over 2,700 hits, 888 steals, 129 home runs. You were born in El Dorado, Arkansas. You were raised, though, in Louisiana. And you were telling me that you used to listen to Harry Carey as a kid. And one of your favorite players growing up was the great Stan the Man.
He was, and I couldn't wait to be in the same ballpark with him. Scared to death in center field with the Cubs. I may have been a fan standing in center field when Stan came to bat. I was that excited about it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Got his 3,000th hit in Chicago, as a matter of fact, 1959.
Mo Dabrowski.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny, Tim and all of us, when we started to play baseball, I batted 300 everywhere I have played except Chicago.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. It was just one of those things. I wasn't ready, and my performance sort of indicated that.
By the way, as we were talking about the Cubs and the Cardinals in the trade, do you like your bobblehead? You're peeling off the Cubs jersey in your new Cardinal number 20. Do you like it?
I like it because it states more than that. It's like a coming out party.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes. It does. That bobblehead's one of the best I've ever seen because of that.
Yeah, you're stepping out into a new dimension. And,
new life.
Yeah, and it happened. And as I said, the Cardinal players were real nice to me about 2 weeks later after I got here.
Who do you like watching now in terms of stealing bases? Is there somebody you like?
I like Hamilton, but the kid who does it best is Gordon. Gordon has his foundation is a little better than in Hamilton right now. Hamilton has that desire to just do it. He want to show you he can do it, but he doesn't get on base a lot to do that, but he can do it.
We also mentioned you last night. As far as head-first slides are concerned, it seems to be everybody in baseball is doing that now, taking a chance of damaging a hand, and you never that I remember, ever slid head-first.
Well, the big reason, one of the reasons, infielders wouldn't let you slide head first. You do head first, they would step on your hands and put their knee in your foreheads. And so you needed to protect yourself, and that's one of the reasons. The head first slide came about because of Pete Rose. There's a photo of Pete sliding at third base head first, and the ball is bouncing off the center field wall. Now,
how does that happen?
And he made headline news with that. And we go, wow, I am still not going to try it, Pete.
Yeah, so Pete really did more damage with young players than he did good.
Well, the touching thing about the head first slide is the rotator cuff tear, because your arm hit the base is stationary, and the force come back through your shoulders, and that's the roughest part of it.
Fly ball lifted into left center, and unfortunately, we usually like to have long innings. We didn't have a long one here with you, Lou.
Well, I may have been the cause of that.
Stay as long. No, you stay as long as you
want to
like.
Stay?
I will stay.
Stick
He
around
wants
for
to
another
stay.
half inning.
Good. Michael Walker back to work. Lou Brock with us. It's 2-0 after 3. Dad, a strong fan, and you can see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Lou Brock is with us. It'll be Arenado, LeMahieu, and Paulson coming up. And Lou Brock's annual golf tournament to benefit Lindenwood University is August 31st at Whitmore Country Club. And you can find out more. Just go to lindenwoodlions.com. lindenwoodlions.com. I know, Lou, you and Jackie, your lovely wife, have been involved with Lindenwood for a number of years, haven't you?
Yes, we have. At least 15 or more. However, a golf tournament has only been there about 5 years. And prior to that, it was Echo Children's Home. And we raised a lot of money then for children and for people with special needs, but particularly students. I would say in the 24 years I've been involved, we raised close to $4 or $5 million.
That's outstanding.
Wow. That's great.
August 31st, Whitmore Country Club. Do you play?
I do play, but in recent years I haven't played the last 2 years. I sort of twisted my back, and so the golf club is a little heavy now. Yeah, just a little heavy.
It's been heavy ever since I started.
You're not the only one. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out, and DJ LeMahieu at the plate. How about from the Cardinals, Lou? I was talking with Tim before we were coming on the air, and I said, Lou, we'll see him periodically here at the ballpark. I know you watch a lot of games on TV. Who do you like watching from the team that we have assembled here in 2015?
Well, as you know, I sort of work with the ball club in spring training. I see a lot of the players, and I probably didn't do a lot this spring. But I got to know Greg Garcia, and I got to know Wong. We did some base running session, and they showed me their skills, but they wouldn't let me. They didn't want to see my skills. Every time I got to demonstrate something they didn't know about, I would say, I'm the person who's going to show you. And they go, no. If you get hurt.
If you ever need a witness, I would be glad to be one.
Is that right? You tried
I guarantee you, because I saw you and occasionally hit behind you.
Yeah, we did a lot of that.
And saw what you did on that home run, that down and in home run that you hit in Detroit in the '68 series. Nobody talks about that.
That was a long home run.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? It looked like you hit it with a driver.
You know what? It was Cepeda's big bat.
Is that right?
Actually, the ball went over the 415 sign. It was in the upper deck and still in center field.
I mean, Dan, we're talking close to 500.
500 feet?
Yes.
Yeah.
And nobody ever talks about it.
But anyway, Cepeda came to me and said, hey, amigo, can I use your bat? Anytime you hit a ball that far, everybody wants the bat, right? He picked it up and recognized that his bat.
It was his bat.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Jim?
I have never heard this story.
And he said, hey, amigo, no more use. No more use. No more use. So I could not use it. He took it away from me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
If you look at his postseason numbers, easily could have been the MVPs of those years.
That's exactly right.
Well, Tim, you had a good 64 series.
64 and 68.
Yeah,
In 68, not in 67.
Yeah, but we all could hit, and we had a pretty hitting ball club. One thing people forget about the Cardinals, always had hit from 1 through 5. And these guys put up a lot of, like 200 hits a year. And there was a lot of people on base.
I'll tell you, Lou Brock was our inspiration running the bases. I'll guarantee.
Great to see you, Lou.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Lou.
And Matt Carpenter, if you're just joining us, another home run, a solo shot, one of the longest to dead center field we've seen this year at this ballpark. And nearly his second home run was off the top of the wall in right field. The AT&T U-verse rewind. What a thrill that was to have the chance to visit, as it always is, with the great Lou Brock. Wasn't that fun?
Boy, that was fun. Thank you very much, Dan, for talking our guys at Fox Sports Midwest into that. I just loved it.
He is always welcome in our booth and an open invitation. How about that Cepeda story?
I've never heard it.
And I've never heard you say I've never heard it.
Well, I heard most of them.
Yeah.
I was part of most of them.
Absolutely.
Well, what a team.
64, 67, 68, all teams that went to the World Series. And you believe which team was the best?
67.
For sure.
Yes, no doubt.
Molina, base hit to left field. That's how we start play here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Again, Lou Brock's golf tournament will be Monday, August 31st. There are full sponsorships available. They have a lunch and a dinner sponsorship available if you don't play golf. And all you have to do is contact online lindenwoodlions.com, lindenwoodlions.com, or call Lindenwood and ask for Jane Baum. Jane Baum. He has done some amazing things at that university, and they have the Lou Brock Sports Complex, and it is one of the premier baseball facilities now in the Midwest. Shift is on here for Brandon Moss, who lined to center field his first time up. I could listen to you two talk all day. I love it.
Man, well,
so much fun.
We'll wrap it up right after this at bat.
Moss hitting it the other way. Barnes back and makes the catch.
Brandon's made contact to center and to left. Hard. I told you, and I'll wrap it up about Lou, but in 1969 I was really having a tough time throwing, and it got to me. It got to me mentally. I was rushing the ball. I talked about it last night, trying to make the transfer from the glove to the hand. I was dropping balls. I was doing things that I'd never done in my life, and it was weighing on me. And Lou gave me a book by Maxwell Maltz called Psycho-Cybernetics. Psycho-Cybernetics. I started reading that book, and it was the most confusing book I have ever read in my life. And I told Lou, I said, I'm just going to have to be the way I am because I don't understand one thing in this book.
And you still have the book?
I still have the book in paperback, yes.
It's great. Randall Grichuk. No balls and a strike with one out, runner at first. Grichuk sent a fly ball down the right field line that Carlos Gonzalez made a very fine play on, leaping into the stands and made the catch for the out. Word on Kyle Kendrick, who started this game for the Rockies, right shoulder inflammation. So that's why he left early. Ground ball left side, off the glove of Arenado. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium, real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Dan, Michael Wacha is up there, and what you said, the prelude, almost an identical situation. Molina was on at second base last night. You talked about the possibility of Carlos Martinez bunting toward first, and you said that if he bunts toward first base, Molina can't get to third. That's exactly what happened. Oquendo talks to Wacha, so I wonder what Jose told Michael.
And Michael can handle the bat in terms of his sacrifices.
Yeah. He can put the bat on the ball.
Yes. And what most teams do, as we've seen, Tim, is that they'll try to keep Molina as close as they can to the bag at second. Wacha bunts it towards the left side, and a fine play made by Aaron Laffey.
That was Oquendo. We know exactly what Oquendo told Wacha. Bunt the ball toward third.
Runners at second and third as we check in with Jimmy Hayes.
Dan, Brendan Moss was already excited about joining the Cardinals. He cited being part of a first-class organization and having a chance to win. He got a bonus last night. When he stepped to the plate last night for the first time as a Cardinal, he got the standing ovation. I asked him if it took him by surprise. He told me 100% yes. He said, you're going to bat, trying to lock in on the pitcher. Suddenly, you hear people cheering. It's kind of surreal. Dan, it was the first time for Brandon. He told me he had never gotten, at any level, a standing ovation for anything.
Well, that was the standing ovation last night, and now the boos raining down on Aaron Laffey and Walt Weiss as they will walk the red-hot Carpenter, load him up for Stephen Piscotty. He could have a signature moment early on in his career coming out.
That's a signature moment for Matt Carpenter, being walked by a left-handed pitcher with a right-handed hitter hitting behind you.
Exactly. So Laffey now in his third inning of work. will have the bases loaded and 2 outs. And the batter will be Stephen Piscotty. Inning started with a base hit to left by Molina. Moss lined out to deep left field. Grichuk is aboard on a ball that went off the glove of Arenado. Sacrificed by Waka. Intentional walk to Matt Carpenter.
That's a great shot of 4 pretty good hands. Molina on the bag with Arenado right next to him.
First pitch to Stephen Piscotty, who's 0 for 2. Good cut on a 1-0 pitch. Waka and the Cardinals already with a 2-run lead. One ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. 2-2. And a strikeout of Piscotty. Second time he's been caught looking, and Laffey out of the jam. Cardinals strand, the bases loaded. The move pays off. In the booth with us, Pat and Rick had the pregame. They'll have the postgame coming up. There they are over at Fox Sports Midwest, our studio inside Ballpark Village.
Except for Lou's disparaging remarks about my dancing.
Well, I think we probably need to get you on camera, get you some music, and let's just see how good you are. Get you cutting a rug.
I can boogie, pal.
See, now you can't
That's
say
what,
that
that's
you
what
boogie.
that's what I can boogie. What do you mean? Is boogie too old-fashioned?
No, you can say you boogie, but you can't say it about yourself.
I can boogie. I can tell you I can boogie.
That's like saying,
no, it's not.
I'm a great player.
No, it's not at all. Boogieing is a form of like extracurricular activity. I mean, come on.
Now, boogie is okay. The word usage is fine. You just can't say yourself that you're a good dancer.
Why not? I can boogie. I just said I can boogie. I didn't say I was a good dancer. I said I can boogie. I enjoy dancing.
Tim will rejoin us in the bottom of the 5th. Cameras are on the way up. Music. And we shall see.
I'll tell you a story about that.
You got a story for everything. I'm
I
ready.
do. I do. Well, that's what happens when you're older. What are you going to say?
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Hundley.
I almost signed with the Yankees, and Bill Dickey was the scout, the Hall of Fame catcher who lived in Little Rock. He scouted the Memphis area. And he gave me a list of 12 things, one of which was to be a pitcher's best friend. And other things about throwing the ball back to the pitcher, throw it to his shoulder glove side, and be a good dancer. He honestly had that on there, to be a good dancer. And I was already a good dancer.
Why would that be on there?
Why would Bill Dickey put? Because of footwork behind the plate.
So he wanted an
lateral
agile
movement. When you're a good dancer, you have lateral movement, one foot. And I could boogie. I worked on it. I did. Ann Rudd and I won the dance contest in WHBQ in 1957 with Wink Martindale as the guy who presided over it.
And we also got an impersonation of Red Shandy's by Lou when he was leaving, talking about the story.
He did.
It was great.
Oh, man.
Awesome. Here's Brandon Barnes. I was telling you in the commercial break, we do those speaker series. We had Lou and Red together. And hearing those two together was just an amazing night. The stories, the names. I mean, we had
that was last summer, right?
Well, no, we did him.
Summer before that?
No, we did him earlier this year. And then Bob Gibson was last year. Tony La Russa.
Bob a couple of times, right?
Yeah. We actually had people in tears. Not because they were laughing, because they were so emotional over the whole thing. It was really neat.
Great.
That's hit out of play. We've got Ozzie and Willie coming up Monday night and Tuesday night. Getting those two together.
Next Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
One of the more popular players in the history of St. Louis baseball, Willie McGee. And, of course, the Wizard of Oz.
You know what number Jonathan Broxton has worn in his career?
No.
51. Willie McGee is number 51. Now, he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's a Cardinals Hall of Famer. So I'm assuming that our friend Rip Rowan is going to have to think of a different number for Jonathan Broxton. There's a base hit into right. Want a great deal on Cardinals tickets? Fill up at Phillips 66 with 8 gallons or more now until September 24th. Receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. You may have fans. If he comes out number 51, there'll be fans tackling him before he gets to the mound.
Yeah. I think that number will ultimately be retired. He's so popular. If popularity were the only answer, it would be a laydown, right?
I think slam dunk.
Yeah,
absolutely. But then you walk that slippery slope of really popular, really good players,
really popular,
but not
plus the higher echelon of players. Right.
This is Chris Russin, last night's starter. And
he will homered last night and had a bunt single.
Right.
2 for 2 with 2 RBIs.
They only have a 4-man bench, 2 from the left side, 2 from the right. So Russin pinch hitting here, and they'll go back to their bullpen. Gonzalez Germain is warming up in the pen. You send the pitcher up, more than likely he's there to bunt. Yes?
Well, not in this situation, not with him homering in his last at bat.
We'll see how Walt Weiss wants to play it here. First career pinch hitting appearance. At least that time trying to bunt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's an odd move any way you look at it.
But you can understand it, though, with only 4 position players on your bench, and one of them being your backup catcher. So really 3. Gets the bunt down, and Walker will throw to first, and the runner does advance. Now at McDonald's, get any size McCafe frappe or smoothie for just $1.99 at McDonald's. And I'm sure some are saying, why not just have then Aaron Laffey bunt in that situation? But he's a reliever. How many times has he been asked to bunt this year? And you'd have to figure Russin has been asked and has been at the plate and can handle the bat a little bit better than the reliever.
And Laffey went 3 innings. Maybe that's his max anyway. So I guess it makes sense.
So here's Charlie Blackmon. Cardinals have out hit the Rockies 7-4, and they lead 2-0. 2 outs, runner at first. Pulled foul. The partner standing up in the booth, and fans below us can see us sometimes in the booth, and just got a nice reception. A little bit nicer than the one that we had at Citi Field about a month and a half ago. You may recall.
It was where a fan was on me unmercifully. Some leather lung from Queens.
He had some choice words for you.
Did he ever?
Tough pitch there for Molina to handle. So runner advances to third with 2 outs. Wild pitch charge to Michael Wacha. Two and 1 the count with 2 outs.
Blackmon geared for that fastball, it appears.
And he gets it, but on the outside corner, take it for a ball. 3-1. Ground ball to the right side. Wong, nifty play, takes the hit away. Ranging to his left. Nice play, Colton Wong. From the outfield grass and a little bit off balance, Colton Wong takes a hit and RBI away. Kids 15 and under entering with a ticket receive their very own limited edition mini Build-A-Bear workshop. That's tomorrow, and it's also a big day for the fans. It's photo day. Cardinals.com/promotions.
Talked about Colton Wong many times defensively this year. And I think that game in Washington opened all Cardinal eyes. Those 3 plays he made around second base going to his right, his left, and balls hit right at him. He has a tougher time with than balls going to his right or to his left, and he proved it once again in the top of the 5th.
It does seem that way.
Yeah.
New pitcher is in. Gonzalez Germain. Our Chevrolet called to the pen. 13th appearance. And Wong hits it the other way, a fly ball to Brandon Barnes. And he's a young player, too, when you think about Colton Wong. I'm not sure he's even scratched the surface of the kind of player he may become.
No, that's true.
And he's really good now.
Well, we Hall of Famer in Lou Brock, and it took him 3 years before he found out in that 1 week before the trade. I'd never heard that story. Yeah. The 1 week before the trade or the 2 weeks before the trade in '64, he felt like he was really coming into his own.
He also said he knew he was at a different place. And you mentioned the trade happened. The team was in Houston, the Cardinals. And he said he had never had the kind of respect that this organization gave him when they sent a car for him, a private car, to pick him up with a police escort to get him to the ballpark to play. He said, this is the big time.
Wow.
He said, this is something I've never experienced.
And that's not the only player that the Cardinals have impressed in that regard.
Just doing things the right way.
That's right.
0-2 on Johnny Peralta. There's a question I've always wanted to ask Lou, but I never want to put him on the spot publicly. And I know probably his answer because he's a humble man and a gracious man.
Yes, he is.
When Rickey Henderson broke his record and said, now I'm the greatest. And really was, Brock was kind of shunned to the side that day to an extent. And he had to travel with Rickey when he broke his record until he got there. How much that bothered him, if at all?
Knowing Lou, probably not a lot.
Agreed. I just wonder.
And Ricky's really a sweetheart of a guy also. Terrific guy.
Off the glove of Germain. 2 down. What's on tap? We're back at it tomorrow. Game 3 of this series. De La Rosa, he's 6-4 against Lance Lynn. De La Rosa really good at home. One of the oddities of his years with the Rockies. He's pitched well at Coors Field. And Lance Lynn, hard-throwing right-hander, will get the call for the Cardinals. Budweiser, what's on tap? Note the start time, 6:15 tomorrow, 5:30 with the pregame show.
I'm certainly not speaking for Lou, but it seems to me that Rickey Henderson, there's not a mean bone in his body.
Everybody says that, too.
Not mean-spirited.
And you've been around him a lot.
Yes, I have.
What a player he was. Wow. Hayward has picked up an RBI and a sac fly back in the first and also flied out to left. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs and nobody on. Shift is on here for Hayward. That's a foul ball. How many times, Tim, do you see a third baseman? Arenado just did this. He was off the line at third, even with the bag, and as the pitch is coming, begins to go to his left and backpedal.
I thought, they used to do that with Ted Williams a lot. I think Jimmy Pearsall, of course, he was a member of the Red Sox also. There was somebody who did that, and a rule was entered into the rule book saying you cannot move behind the hitter as a background, going from one side to the other.
That'll drop foul because of how much
maddening. I can't come up with it.
Distraction it would be for the hitter.
Yes, right. Right. I wonder if that would apply with a guy like Nolan, who is kind of racing back toward the shortstop position.
It's not a slow back pedal. It was quick.
Yeah.
Like a defensive back going back in football.
Especially with the left-handed batter up there, because the left-hander can see him easily.
Here's a 1-2. Up the middle, base hit for Jason Hayward. More and more going to left and up the middle.
And Bill Miller and John Mabry have been working on that in batting practice, hitting that ball up the middle into left center field.
Two outs and a check on Hayward. The Cardinals do not have a hit when they've been ahead in the count tonight. All have been either even or the hitters have been behind in the count. And they've got 8 hits here tonight. Four of the 8 have had base hits with 2 strikes. Laffey win 3 innings after Kendrick gave the Rockies 1, their starter tonight. Now Germain. 1-0 pitch, pulled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a good time to send Hayward. I mean, Molina doesn't have that many extra base hits, and it would take an extra base hit for the most part to score Jason. So why not send him? It's kind of one of those Lou Brock moments. It's you know he's going to run, or at least that should be his mindset right now.
Leads the club in stolen bases, 15 this year, not running, and an off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cubs are playing Milwaukee tonight. They're in the top of the 5th. It's 2-1 Chicago. It's amazing how much the Brewers have fallen off from just 2 years ago. Led the division throughout for the most part last year, as Molina swings and misses. this year. Kendrick, he gave up 1 in the first against Matt Carpenter, 26 now. Phil Hughes, Kyle Loesch has had a tough season with Milwaukee, the former Cardinal, and CC Sabathia with 24. DraftKings players to watch. Enter the promo code CARDS. Michael Wacha pitching into the 6th on this Friday night. Cards and Rockies 2-0 St. Louis.
How about this game not being even close to what last night's game was?
And some good defensive plays tonight.
It brings back that old comment years ago that good pitching is baseball's sedative.
Yes.
And it really is.
It sets the tone of the entire game. And the pace of Wacha sets the tone for defense.
Talked about it earlier. The pace, the cadence, the rhythm.
Jose Reyes at the plate. He's 0 for 2. We were talking about Milwaukee before the inning ended. And this is a team that even there was talks of trading Jonathan Lucroy, but now Carlos Gomez is gone. He's with Houston. Broxton here in St. Louis. Dramatic drop off for the Brewers from this time last year to what we're seeing now.
Remember, the Brewers swept the series out in Los Angeles, and after that series they were like 5 in front, 5.5 in front of the Cardinals. And Jonathan Lucroy did an interview with Bob Uecker, I believe, or whoever does the post-game shows on radio, and he said the Dodgers are the team that we'll probably face in the playoffs in postseason. And since that time, the Brewers went downhill and gave up first place to the Cardinals, I believe, August 31st of last year, and Cardinals never looked back.
Pittsburgh leading Cincinnati. That's 5-4. They're in the bottom of the 8th. Pirates were busy at the trade deadline, and really the last week or so with Ramos Ramirez. They picked him up. Joaquin Soria for their bullpen, the former closer of the Royals. They got Michael Morse today. Good changeup. Pirates also got lefty Jay Happ. You may remember him with Houston and Philadelphia. He comes from Seattle to Pittsburgh. The Cardinals' recent acquisitions: Steve Cishek, Brandon Moss, and Jonathan Broxton. This bullpen now features 4 that have been closers at some point and have had 30 or more saves in a season.
Now with a different look, too.
Yes. Off-speed pitch taken for a ball by Carlos Gonzalez. One ball, one strike. Seeing the success of what Kansas City did last year, where they really shortened games because of a great bullpen, and it's sensational, one of the best, if not the best, in baseball. You wonder if that's a little bit of the blueprint of what the Cardinals are trying to do here.
Probably, but in fairness, I don't think you can compare them with Kansas City yet.
Just the blueprint,
not yet.
Not necessarily the talent.
Well, it has to be that case because of the Cardinal offense. I mean, they're not. If the playoffs started tomorrow, and the Cardinals obviously were in it, they had a bye or whatever. I mean, this offense would be the offense that the Cardinals, for the most part, are taking to the postseason. Does Mike Matheny think it's enough? Well, we'll find out.
It's almost as if you said, well, we could go out and get a bat or two, mortgage a lot of our farm system.
I think that was the danger that John Mozella. I understand that completely.
And taking the other route, which is, all right, let's just bolster what already is a major plus for us, which is our pitching. The pitching has been historically great.
That's what's got them to the best record in baseball. No question about it.
And you shorten the innings too, Tim, potentially for Wacha, Martinez, even a 36-year-old John Lackey. You got to be a little careful with these young guys, as we've talked about throughout the year. So that does allow them to do that, you would think. everybody wishes they had the payroll and the blueprint potentially of the Dodgers, where they just acquire players with big contracts that have no intention of playing for the team, take the money off the hands of the team they trade with to get the player that they want. Their payroll, if my numbers are correct, resides at over $300 million, and they'll be paying players that will never play for them potentially about $50 million. That's incredible. Dodgers have Ryu, Brandon McCarthy. Those two are out. They've added Matt Latos, Alex Wood, Jim Johnson, Luis Avila from the Atlanta Braves. But Michael Morse, they had there briefly. They traded him for Jose Tabata. Moss giving chase with Wong, and it's out of play. But that's incredible.
It is. Meanwhile, this is some battle between Waka and Gonzalez, huh? In and out, Waka with the changeup, fastball, Cargo fighting off pitches, fouling them off. The true mano a mano of a baseball game, pitcher versus the hitter.
Pitch number 11 of the at bat right here. And he walked him. First walk issued by the Cardinal right-hander tonight. Nolan Arenado, as we talked about, a great defender, and because of his glove, two-time Gold Glover already, maybe he overlooked what he's done with the bat. 78 RBIs to lead all of Major League Baseball. 0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, that's a guy's total value is the prevention of runs plus the creation of runs. And nobody does it better in baseball than Arenado.
1-0 pitch. Take it for a ball as Waka stares back in. And you know that Molina thought it's a strike when he holds that baseball like he did.
Yes, right.
You could see him talking with the home plate umpire in a professional way. Arenado with a high fly ball. He just missed it. Lifted out to left, and Piscotty is there. '15 Cardinals Hall of Fame inductees plaque is coming up. Features Bob Force, George Kissel, Ted Simmons, and Curt Flood. Great class here in 2015, presented by Edward Jones. And that giveaway, the plaque, is August 15th. DJ LeMahieu. Cardinals trying to figure out a way to get him out. Arcia in the driver's seat. Man, this guy's been great.
It has been tough. A lot of balls up the middle to right field.
There it is to right field, but there's Hayward. And he puts it away. We're midway through 6. St. Louis still with a 2-0 lead. Golf with your favorite Blues player, alumni, and coach at the Blues 14 Fun Golf Classic on Monday, September 14th at Norwood Hills Country Club. All foursomes are paired with a Blues celebrity for 18 holes of golf. Visit stlouisblues.com/golf classic for more information.
And I bet all of the Blues players are low handicaps. Hockey players are unbelievable.
They are. They don't take it back real far in their swing.
Same as a slap shot, right?
Yeah. And hit it a mile. Here's Brandon Moss still looking for that first Cardinals hit. He's 0 for 2, but 2 balls that he's hit to deep outfield in center and in left. You just want to get that first hit out of the way, don't you? Shift is on again. Long way to go for Barnes, and out of play.
The one thing you can see from Brandon's 5 at-bats thus far with the Cardinals, he's an uppercut swinger. Everything is drop the back shoulder and uppercut it. I had a little place out in California, and I followed the A's for the last 2 years, actually the last 2.5 years, when Brandon was with them, and got fairly familiar with this swing watching the Athletics games.
What'd you think of him as an all-around player?
A better all-around player, I think, than his numbers show.
1-2 pitch.
Not a game changer by any means, but he's a pretty, he's got power. And you don't even have to have any history with him to see that. But that back shoulder often drops. That's why he hits so many balls in the air.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Play the outfield, first base tonight. And he drives that out to deep right field. And Cargo is there.
How about those 3 at-bats? Got over 1,000 feet of outs tonight in 3 at-bats.
Here's a look at George Frazier there on the left. We talked about him last night. Color analyst for the Rockies. Grew up in Springfield, Missouri. His daughter, Miss Oklahoma this year. Former pitcher here in St. Louis. Future stars. Featured there with Tommy Herr. There's Jerry Schemmel, who's working on the Rockies TV side with George tonight. Grichuk is 1 for 2. One ball, 1 strike. Outfield is deep. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. He evens it up at 2-2. Three and 2 the count. Boy, the Rockies just shift, it seems like, with every pitch, every at bat. 3-2. That'll beat the shift down the left field line, and a fair ball. Ground rule double for Randal Grichuk. 2-hit night. And another hit with 2 strikes, their 5th tonight. 5 of 9.
I think what could there's a lot of talk as Randal Grichuk gets a slider, it looked like, maybe a fastball. Just rips it down the left field line for a ground rule double. But if you're looking for ways perhaps to change the shift for more offensive production, perhaps a way to start is once you've shifted, you've got to play that way for all counts. You've got to play that way for the hitter. I think that would get guys thinking, just a thought.
And maybe the managers then curtail how many times they would do it. Do we want to take this chance now?
Yeah.
Play
and then,
straight
then
up.
all of a sudden it gets 0-2 and you push the shortstop back and the whole bit. Maybe that's a way to start looking at a different way to play the shift in a fair manner.
Rob Manfred, the new commissioner, has actually talked about, and he took some heat for it, taking the shifts out of the game completely. Just played straight up.
Yeah.
He was in St. Louis, I guess it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and he was asked about it. He said, boy, I took a lot of heat for it. He said, I didn't mean that we're going to do it. It was just an idea to try to get more offense in the game.
Well, with that position, expect the heat.
You signed up for it. 1 ball, 1 strike. The game right now is so healthy, and there's so much money being made. Just make sure the players stay on the field. And he was big behind the scenes. That was one of his main jobs, making sure that there was good relationships with the players and the owners. And a 1-2 pitch put in play by Waka. That'll roll foul. It's been good to see teams like Kansas City and Pittsburgh, the so-called lower market teams, with success last year, this year, adding payroll to trade deadline.
To where the term small market is being weaned out of the game. I mean, you don't hear it nearly as much as you did even 2 years ago.
I would agree with that. I think the Dodgers are in their own stratosphere.
Yankees, of course,
Yeah.
New York. But the Mets aren't like that on the other side.
Their fan
Matter of
base
fact, if you're a fan of the Mets, it's got to be a trying experience.
they've been clamoring and dying for a hitter.
Yeah.
Add somebody.
Anybody.
The 2-2. 3-2 on walk-up. Germain is due up 4th for the Rockies, looking at could be his final inning of work. (3-2) and he walked him. Remember, back in the 4th, the Cardinals had runners at 2nd and 3rd, and they intentionally walked Matt Carpenter to get to Piscotty with the bases loaded. They struck him out. Now it's 2nd and 3rd, and 1 out, and a hot hitter, Matt Carpenter again.
Excuse me, Dan. That is the 2nd walk of the season for Waka. Number 2. That's in 37 at bats.
Matt Carpenter in this spot, part of our BJC Healthcare difference maker. What he's done, here are the numbers coming into play tonight. 370. I think what really stands out, look at the strikeouts. Only 12 from the leadoff position, 64 in the other spots in the lineup.
Yeah, that is a disturbing statistic.
As you mentioned earlier, he said, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I don't enjoy batting leadoff. There's comfort there.
Yeah. I think it was either Rick Hummel or Derek Gould that was reporting on that. Perhaps Joe Strauss. I'm not sure.
1 out, 2 on. Carpenter, solo home run back in the 1st inning. Nearly picked up his 2nd of the game in the 2nd inning. Hit it off the top of the wall and right for a double, and the intentional walk back in the 4th.
love that one back.
His swings have been better the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely, yeah. Hitting is such, sometimes you don't know how you got bad and you don't know how you got good. I know that's not good English, but that's the way it is.
The 0-2. And then when you go bad, trying to figure it out is a maze.
Maddening.
Yeah. Inning started with Moss flying to deep right center. Grichuk the double. Walk to Michael Wacha. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Matt Carpenter. Two and two. Pitch number 40 coming up for Germain. Friedrich is getting loose, a left-hander in the pen for Colorado. May have this right-hander on the ropes. Three and two.
Think about speed on the bases with first and second. If you're going to send the runners, you think about speed with the lead runner, not the trail runner. If you're a catcher and the pitcher's the trail runner, you think if it's a strike him out, throw him out, then you think second base and not third.
Big lead for Wacha now. Chris Maloney getting him back to the bag at first.
I don't think, because of the value of Michael Wacha, I don't think they'll be running anyway.
Don't take a chance is what you're saying.
No, I don't think so.
Now he wants to talk it over.
Think long, you think wrong. Meetings on the mound give way to indecision.
Isn't that the truth?
Really, in my opinion.
Looks like they're running. They are. The 3-2 pulled foul. To further your point, if you're Mike Matheny, you're seeing the big lead that Wacha is getting. It's almost a running lead with the first baseman Paulson playing behind him.
He's a little closer now, Paulson is. But you don't want too much movement behind Wacha because you got a left-handed hitter up there and pull the ball.
This big crowd ready to erupt. 3-2 pitch, runners go. Ground ball right side, taken there by LeMahieu. Paulson has to get back to the bag, and he does. It's been a tough night for Steven Piscotty. He's 0 for 3. He is popped out to short, struck out looking with a man at second base, and then struck out looking back in the fourth with the bases loaded.
Dr. Feelgood arrives, however, with one swing of the bat. You erase all that other stuff.
Ball one. Cardinals have left 7 on already. Number of chances to tack on to their 2-run lead. Piscotty out to center. That ball will get down off the wall. 2 runs will score. Dr. Feelgood for Mr. Piscotty.
Steven, Dr. Feelgood. Dr. Feelgood, Steven. The agony before and the ecstasy now.
You just see it. Germain didn't quite have enough to put these hitters away.
Yeah, right.
This inning. Look at the hit speed for Piscotty. 2 more RBIs. 4 this year since he's been called up. Double switch coming up for Walt Weiss. 4-0 Cardinals in our Chevy call to the pen. team. 25,000 fans, 16 and older take home an adult Cardinals duffel bag, and 50 random fans will win prizes in their duffel bags courtesy of Cardinals corporate partners. Tickets and information at cardinals.com/promotions. It's coming up on August 16th. Double switch. Daniel Descalso takes over at second base. Christian Friedrich, the left-hander, is into the ball game. We saw him in game one.
That's one double switch that, no disrespect to Daniel Descalso, if you take LeMahieu out of a game where you need a big bat down by 4 runs, I don't make that double switch. The Cardinals have to say thank you very much. You're getting our nemesis out of there.
We showed you the numbers and what he's done against the Cardinals. Here's Colton Wong, and he looks at a strike. So Piscotty knocks out German. Wong tonight, base hit, run scored back in the first. He's flied twice to left. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals were blanked in back-to-back games, and now an offensive explosion the last couple of nights. 10 hits tonight. Two and one. Two and two. Pirates are up 5-4 in the ninth at Cincinnati. Jeff Locke made that start. Melanson is in to pick up the save potentially, but dealing with 2 outs and runners on.
But Jeff Locke's pitched well over his last 4 or 5 starts for Pittsburgh.
Starting pitching is cracked a little lately. Burnett has not been nearly as good as he was.
Nope.
To begin the year. Surprising too, Tim. You wonder where the Pirates would be if they played better within the division. Pittsburgh in the Central Division 17-25.
Man.
That's one of those stats or numbers that jumps off the page.
Yeah.
The 2-2. Mark Teixeira with home runs from both sides of the plate for the Yankees tonight. And that sets the Major League Baseball record. He's done that 14 times. Nick Swisher 13. Carlos Beltran, formerly of the Cardinals, with 12. Chili Davis with 11. And the Hall of Famer Eddie Murray with 11. The 2-2. Wong hits it the other way, slicing. That ball is down. Piscotty will score. 5-0 Cardinals on an RBI from Kolten Wong.
Not to beat a dead horse, but that not only is a big hit for Kolten Wong, but keep in mind a 5-run lead and LeMahieu's out of the lineup. Sometimes you want to sacrifice your pitching because of fatigue or what have you. There are other times where you need offense to catch up, and this is one of them for the Rockies. One of those times.
There's Johnny Peralta. 1 for 3 tonight, a base hit into right center back in the first inning. Kyle Kendrick, the starter for the Rockies, lasted 1 inning, had inflammation in the right shoulder, had to leave. Peralta with a drive, left center, will it carry? You bet it will. 2-run homer, Peralta.
Think of all the major leaguers, of all the offensive dimensioned major leaguers, Johnny Peralta is doing almost exactly this year what he did last year. Almost on time, home runs, RBIs, everything.
Tim, he has committed 3 errors
and
on
3
top
errors,
of it.
yeah. That ball was hammered. Johnny goes down and gets this ball. Low fastball, middle of the plate, gone.
7-0 St. Louis. 1 ball, 1 strike on Hayward. The other thing about Peralta you have to love. He answers the bell every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Cardinals got a number of players like that. Carpenter, Molina, Wong.
There were many within baseball that frowned upon that signing of Johnny Peralta. 4 years, $52 million. Cardinals had to get some kind of production offensively from the shortstop position. There was no doubt about that. And there's a base hit for Jason Hayward. But the question was whether or not Peralta could play defensively every day. You know, should he be an outfielder? Should he be a third baseman?
I think third's out, but I think left field's a possibility if he's needed. But who's going to replace him? He's right where he should be right now.
Friedrich has come in and allowed a base hit to Colt Wong and an RBI to left. 2-run homer to Peralta and a screamer to center off the bat of Jason Hayward. Is part of that conversation right there is, look, we need you. We're in the 6th inning. We need outs. We need you to go deeper into this game. Part of it.
I don't know.
At least you're honest. I don't know.
When somebody says I don't know, I mean,
what do you say to that?
What do you I don't know.
What do you say is, here's Molina. You just move on. And a curveball drops in for a strike. 5 hits in the inning to go along with a walk. A 7-run lead for the Cardinals. And all this, the 5 runs have been scored with 2 outs. Pittsburgh has posted a win, 5-4 over Cincinnati. Cardinals lead in the Central, 5.5. Currently at 5. If they win, it stays at 5.5. What does Molina mean to this team offensively? When the Cardinals win, his average at .330. In their losses, .203. Two balls, 2 strikes.
That's a little fuzzy too, if you know what I mean, from an offensive standpoint. I mean, just by the very fact that he's back there, by the very fact that he's handling the pitchers, all those. It's almost like a statistic like that gets in the way of the real statistic.
And the real meaning,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
in the real meaning, yeah. In fairness,
so involved too is what you're saying too, defensively, and the importance of what he brings behind the plate. And it's a walk. The Cardinals bat around here in the 6th inning. Their 2nd walk. And in steps Brandon Moss, who flied to deep right. Every time tonight he's been up, he has flied out. First time to center, deep. Then deep left. This inning to deep right.
We used to kid about it all the time in batting practice. We'd say track power, track power, track power. So I decided one year that in order to help that out, that they should put the track behind the fence. And if you had track power, then think of all the home runs you'd hit.
There you go. Psychological advantage.
Of course. That track has cost a lot of guys a lot of money over the years.
Shift was on. Cardinals strand 2, but the first time for St. Louis, scoring 5 runs in an inning since back on June 19th at Philly. These fans are loving it tonight. 7-0 St. Louis. Lasted 1 inning. Dealt with a right shoulder issue, was lifted, so the Cardinals have seen the bullpen of the Colorado Rockies. And Terry Johnson in Grand Junction, Colorado, never misses a game, and he's enjoying this one tonight. Michael Wacha. Might be one of those games, Tim, where if you're looking to curtail innings and be careful with Wacha, he gives you one more and then head to your bullpen.
Oh, I think that's Mike Matheny's thinking right now. Yeah. Get somebody in at bat. Pinch hitting for Michael Wacha, who's due up second in the 7th.
Just talking with Randy Choate, who's getting loose before the game tonight in the Cardinals dugout, and he said we've gone from what was at times a really young bullpen, even with Segrist and Rosenthal. Now we have all these veterans and guys that have been there before. It's a different feel to this bullpen. Good changeup.
You got to say, for the most part, too, Sam Tuivailala did a fine job, as did Sokolovic, Miguel.
Harris.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that swung on and missed, and a strikeout. 6 strikeouts tonight for Michael Wacha. He's at 96 pitches.
3 of them Ben Paulson, former Clemson grad, not too happy with his 3 at-bats tonight. And Michael Wacha can make you look foolish when he's ahead and throws that changeup out of the strike zone. It's still, as we said earlier, it's still his most effective pitch.
He's really good in that at-bat. Nick Hundley. Hit one up against the wall that was caught by Jason Hayward in right, and is also struck out. A fastball at 94 is taken high for ball 1. We've had some fun here tonight. Lou Brock in the booth. The Cardinals offense has come alive. 13 hits, 7 runs. The 7-0 lead. And maybe overlooked with all this, Michael Wacha back on track. He's been good tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Popped up. Foul territory. Wong calls off Moss. Makes the play. 2 down. This weekend on Fox Sports and Fox Sports 1, Angels and Dodgers. That's at 2:30. Cardinals and Rockies will come your way at 5:30. Then Sunday, Cardinals and Rockies at 12:30. Hope you join us. 2 outs, Brandon Barnes. Barnes is 1 for 2 tonight. Tap back to the pitcher and also singled in inning number 5, and that's fouled back. Oh, and 2. Walker trying to make quick work of the Rockies here in the top of the 7th. And he does. Called third strike on his final pitch of the night. 7 strikeouts. Michael Walker in 7. It's time to stretch on a gorgeous night here in St. Louis. Foundation. Bottom of the 7th, 13 hits for the Cardinals, 7-0 the lead. He tried to close the game out last night. We mentioned the issues that he's been having. It's our Chevy called to the pen, and John Axford will pitch here in the bottom of the 7th.
You know, we were talking about it between innings, Dan. It's a tough decision for Walt Weiss. Regardless of if you don't pitch Axford tonight, you run the risk of him not being straightened out for the rest of the series. If you do run him in a 7-0 game, he's not anywhere close to a save situation. Barring a miracle, this game is over. And last night, he was just awful. And he's a great guy and everything. You hate to see this happen to anybody, but the walk off on the 3-1 pitch to Greg Garcia and the game-winning RBI. But you know, this is a tough business and racket sometimes, and this is an example of how tough it can be for managers.
Normally, Axford's coming in 1-2-run ball games. It's amped up, it's intense, and you're coming in a 7-0 game, a deficit for the Rockies, trying to figure things out. You're right.
Yeah.
Thing I really
not all
noticed.
Choices make sense.
Yeah.
You know, and in this, you know, if you're Walt Weiss, do I pitch him here and try to get him straightened out for the next 2 games, or you know, is this kind of showing him up in a situation where it doesn't matter how well he does, he's just out there?
The thing I really noticed with him too, and I mentioned it earlier, and having watched him an awful lot with Milwaukee, and then he was with St. Louis.
Sure.
His fastball command, I don't know if he has any idea where it's going. You know, he just right now cannot get his fastball location. There it was.
Well, and then when you do, it's a fat part of the plate.
Hyundai pitch arsenal, what he features.
And that's how important that four-seam fastball is to him. That's his staple pitch. If you lose your staple, you're in trouble.
There was a time when he was automatic with Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
2-1 pitch. Fouled. 2-2. By now, many of you heard the story that in spring training, his infant child was bitten by a snake. There was infection. There was thought that his young boy may lose his life. It was that serious.
Horrible story. Oh, gosh.
That's a good pitch on the outside corner. Fastball at 95. So Grichuk strikes out. We're underway here in the bottom of the 7th.
John Axford did not make a pitch like that all night last night.
Last night's hero, Greg Garcia, pinch hitting for Michael Wacha. One pitch to Greg Garcia. You know, Tim, the byproduct too of adding Moss is that you have improved your bench, at least with the threat of power. Let's say Moss doesn't play, he's on the bench, or a Piscotty, or a Grichuk, but Mark Reynolds is there. And that's something the team has been looking for, is to really try to shore up the bench with some threat of offense coming off that bench. There's the breaking ball low.
Yeah, a team that broke spring training with all right-handed pinch hitters. Now you've got Garcia, and if Mike Matheny decides not to start Moss, and you have Moss on.
Exactly.
So your bench is balanced up.
One ball and 2 strikes. Garcia looks at a ball low. Axford was a non-roster invitee. Broke in back in 2009. Had 46 saves at one point with Milwaukee at 2011. Team that lost in the National League Championship Series to the Cardinals. Finished up with Cleveland last year and then Pittsburgh. With St. Louis, he appeared in 13 games in 2013 at a 1.74 ERA. Three-two pitch. Garcia rips it into right center field. That ball will get down all the way to the wall. Greg is thinking 2, maybe 3. No, he'll stop at second base.
One thing that stands out about Greg Garcia is when he gets a hit, when he's happy, he shows that happiness just like his grandfather used to.
Was he like that too?
Dave Garcia, oh yeah. He had a smile a mile wide. Runs in the family.
His reaction after he hit the home run off of Pedro Strop against Chicago in the 8th inning.
Classic.
Yeah. Exuberance.
No, yeah, that's
even at this level.
No, oh, particularly at this level. It's the highest level you can get. So your exuberance is higher.
A lot on the lineup here, too.
Yeah, I would say.
That's what John Mozeliak was telling me, Cardinals GM, about Stephen Piscotty the other day. He said he watched the postgame show and listened to his interview after he picked up a key RBI, his first ever in the big leagues, wound up being a game winner. There's Stephen on deck, and he said, in my mind at that moment, I feel that Stephen Piscotty realized you better amp it up at this level, and there's a lot of pressure. This isn't Memphis, and there's no disrespect to Memphis.
No.
But there's 45,000 people here every night, and you're expected to produce.
Memphis, 290 miles from the south, down on the river, and it's a lot longer jump from there to here than a lot of people realize, and Steven's finding that out right now.
I find that really interesting that he said that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know John's always known that, but for him to say it was refreshing, I think.
Yep.
To state the obvious.
Carpenter with a home run tonight, a double, a walk, and a ground out. 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, kept in front by Nick Hundley. Our understanding is that Jonathan Broxton will join the club tomorrow.
I didn't know that. He's not here tonight.
That's my understanding.
Uh-huh.
We've said that before, and then all of a sudden the guy trots in from the bullpen.
Yeah, comes in on a helicopter.
Right. The 2-1. 2-2 on Carpenter. Rockies started play tonight, 13 games out in the National League West, 43-57, and 11 games below 500 on the road. Two. Routed to the right side, taken by Paulson. Garcia advancing from second to third. Maybe the biggest hit in this game was Piscotty's double.
I was just thinking about that. There are certain hits during the course of a 9-inning game, or any game, that gives a team a chance to breathe. And that hit gave the Cardinals a chance to breathe easier.
It was a double off the wall. Picked up 2 RBIs. That made it 4-0. Then Wong a single to left to make it 5-0. 2-run homer by Peralta. 5 runs back in the 6th. Ball 1. Axford now at 18 pitches here in the bottom of the 7th. Two and 0. As we mentioned earlier, such a small sample size with Piscotty to make any kind of evaluation, but just watching body language, how he handles himself before, after games, little things.
He's a smart guy, Stanford educated.
Absolutely, he's fit in.
Yeah.
The 2-0. 3-0. Colton Wong on deck. He actually went back in the offseason to get his engineering degree and finish it up.
Oh, he did?
He did. And he draws a walk.
That old saying about baseball, if you have a degree, it gives you something on which to fall back. You know what? Guys don't want to have to fall back. They want to play the game and succeed at it at this level.
Colton Wong is one of those that worked tirelessly with his father growing up.
Kaha.
That's right.
I guess it's either Kaha or Kaha. I don't know in Hawaiian whether it's Kaha or Kaha, K-A-H-A. He went to USC, spent 2 years in the minor leagues with the Reno Silver Miners, I think, right?
That's right.
Isn't that right?
And his dad was a guy that those on the island always turned to for help.
It's a sweet story, and he's still helping young kids with the batting cage. He has a batting cage on Hilo, or in Hilo, the capital of Hawaii. I believe the Big Island, right?
Colton's brother is in the minor leagues as well. 0-1 pitch.
Read an article where if you look at Wong's forearms, they look like they belong to a man about 5 inches taller. You know, they're bulging, and he got those big forearms chopping down trees with an axe, which is the same really as a baseball swing, really.
Remember Greg Jeffries, his dad?
Oh yeah, it's Sarah High School in San Mateo, California.
He would swing a bat in a pool
Underwater.
Right.
Yes. As a switch hitter.
Wong chases it and strikes out. So Axford walks away unscathed. We head to the 8th. 7-0. Go to our studio and a Bomberito Sports Update. And what has been a tremendous evening for the Cardinals in terms of their offense. 14 hits, 7-0 lead. Tony Cruz takes over for Yadier Molina. Randy Cho takes over for Michael Wacha. Nice round of applause here for Daniel Descalso. Received a huge ovation here last night. First pitch is a strike. Ray Garcia stays in the game, takes over at short. That's pulled foul. Randy Choate, his career ERA against the Rockies is 7.36 in his career. At Coors Field, it's simply an even 15. That's it.
Man.
And the 0-2.
Coors Field, a place where low ERAs go to die.
Crowd tonight 42,568. 42568. Off the end of the bat and a base hit for Daniel Descalso.
Little slider. Of course, Daniel played behind Randy Choate so many times. A lot easier for him to guess along with Choate, more than most left-handed hitters in the National League.
Seth Maness warming up at the bullpen for the second time. Here's Charlie Blackmon, who is 0 for 3, grounded out back in the 5th. Pair of groundouts and a flyout. No balls and a strike.
Looking ahead a couple of batters, I think Randy is in there for at least 4, because in order to pitch to Carlos Gonzalez, he'd have to weather Jose Reyes from the right side. Jose, of course, a switch hitter.
One and one the count. Friend Dan Farrell just stopped in the booth, and he was with Pat Shannon, and they're getting you prepped and ready for your visit to Mike Shannon's Steaks and Seafood.
Yes.
Live at Shannon's with Tim McCarthy.
Live at Shannon's.
I'll have you tuned in.
KMOX.
Voice of St. Louis. I'll have you tuned in.
Correct.
How many of the stories you guys will tell tonight will actually be true?
With Mike, none.
Just watch our pregame.
I promise he won't hear this either by the time the show starts, but he will tell among the first stories when the ballpark burned down in Memphis. We played the first 3 games in Double-A Memphis in 1960. We opened in Nashville, played 3 games, lost 2 out of 3, and drove home down old Highway 2-lane 61, and the ballpark was burning down. Our ballpark, and it was burning to the ground. We worked out 2 days later, went to Columbus, Georgia, and played a 21-game set. Came back, opened in a football stadium, Hodges Field. I used to play football there in high school. 180 feet down the right field line.
Little bouncer, they'll get the lead man at least. Safe at first. So 180 down the right field line.
180, 354 to straightaway center, and about 480 to left. It was a football field, and 11 home runs were hit the first night, and they made it a ground rule double from the right field line to straightaway center, and we played in that thing. Gosh, it was awful. It was it was a funny year. But the next year, Mike went out to Seattle and played there in 61, 62. Then both of us came to the Cardinals in 63 to stay.
But Mike was part of a memorable double play for you.
He was.
That ballpark.
Oh yeah, with
Reyes. Ooh, nice play here by Wong. Wow, what a play.
Now DJ LeMahieu won the Gold Glove, but DJ LeMahieu is here listening to our telecast, I'm sure, down in DJ, you don't have this kind of range. You gotta credit Colton Wong with that. DJ LeMahieu, an outstanding defender, but Wong's getting right there. The double play to which you refer is with Rube Walker, the playing manager of the Atlanta Crackers at the time, in 1960, hit into a double play, 9-6-3. Mike Shannon played right field. He was out by 3 steps at first base.
Because of the 180 feet.
180 feet, right. 9-6-3 double play. And I kidded Rube Walker, who became the pitching coach of the Mets in the late 60s, with Seaver and Kuzman and Gentry and Nolan Ryan and that group, Tug McGraw. I kidded him about it for a long time.
I bet.
Yeah.
9-6-3.
Right. Right field to short to first.
Routine. That night. Randy Choate, scoreless inning, 7-0. Cardinals on top. Our score here at Busch Stadium, it's all St. Louis tonight. They've out-hit the Rockies 14-5, and they lead 7-0. Justin Miller is the new pitcher in for Colorado, the Colorado Rockies. Or Chevy called to the pen. This will be his 10th appearance. 9 innings, 5 hits. He struck out 9 and 1 walk. Tony Cruz will be the hitter. Cruz, Hayward, and then the pitcher spot. You think about trying to buy some innings here and there. You know, we talk about the pitchers, but you buy a couple of innings here for Yadier Molina. You know, 2 here, 2 there, day off. For the course of 6 months.
You do what you can.
Yeah.
And you do what you can. Wherever you can find a crease without the expense of losing a game.
Sure.
have a backup catcher, Tony Cruz, who certainly understands that. As a matter of fact, in an unusual sort of way, and there have been instances in baseball that have about backup players, but Yadier Molina may be responsible for Tony Cruz having a job as a backup catcher with the St. Louis Cardinals.
I was thinking that earlier.
And I don't, obviously neither of us means it badly, but honestly and fairly.
Yadi has caught the most innings in baseball. Because of that, Cruz doesn't play an awful lot.
Right. Understandably.
Now, what's interesting, though, about Tony Cruz, when Tony La Russa was here, you would see Cruz play left field, right field, third base, first base, and was your backup catcher. In this particular situation under Mike Matheny, you just don't see him being used hardly at all in any other position with the exception of catcher and the occasional pinch hit.
The paralleling story is very funny. The 1961 Yankees had to make a trade in 1962, and you know they led the majors in home runs, the most prolific team hitting home runs in 1961 with Maris with 61, Mantle with 54. Fast forward the next year, they had like 6 guys with over 20 home runs in 1961, and John Blanchard is going to be traded to the Kansas City Royals, or maybe not the Royals, the Kansas City A's, I guess at the time, yeah. And he started crying, and Casey Stengel, beg your pardon, Ralph Houck, who was the manager at the time, went up to him and said, "John, you don't understand this. This is going to give you a break. You're going to have a chance to play in Kansas City."
He didn't want it, did he?
He said, "That's why I'm crying." He didn't want a chance to play.
Maybe get exposed and have to play.
That's exactly right. I mean, with the Yankees, you have a short right field porch. You know, in Kansas City, it's a legitimate poke to get it out. But the opportunity to play never entered John's mind.
No.
And he was supposed to have been a great guy. But the stories of the game.
2 outs, our T-Mobile photo of the game. Use the hashtag MWDataStrongFan. Send us in your photos. That's from tonight. And here's Pete Kozma. In a way, it does kind of have a familiar feel to what Pete Kozma is going through here. He's here to back up Johnny Peralta. They know he can play major league ready defense and shortstop, but he doesn't play.
Yeah.
Peralta's going to play.
Yeah. So keep yourself as ready as you can, and he does. Now, I know a lot's been made out of 75 plate appearances and no extra base hits. Sometimes that happens. And the Cardinals understand that. They understand that it's tough to perform offensively if you're not playing, if you don't have plate appearances. Mike Matheny does what he can, but the only time he's had 3 or 4 plate appearances was that game in Miami that he started, and he had a good game too. 3 hits. Game that we did I believe it was the last game of the Miami series, right?
It was, and it's fair to say that, look, is he ever going to be a guy that hits at a high clip in the major leagues? Probably not.
Probably not, right.
But it also is fair to say on his behalf that 75 plate appearances, it's tough to get anything going too.
Yeah.
Fly ball into right, and the catch is made. That'll send us to the ninth. It's all Cardinals. It's 7-0 St. Louis as the ninth inning rolls in. 16 runs for the Cardinals, including 7 tonight. Previous 8 games, they had a total of 18. Jordan Walden on his rehab assignment at Memphis. Inning pitch tonight, no hits. 1 walk, struck out 2. 21 pitches and 12 were strikes. Seth Maness in to finish this game off. Non-save situation. Chevy called to the pen. And here is Nolan Arenado. How do you not like what the bullpen could look like if you include Jordan Walden? He is a real key. Cishek, Broxton, Villanueva, Rosenthal, Maness, and Walden will be here shortly. It's a pretty good bullpen. Arenado with a ground ball hit to short and a bad hop. Skips into center field. A reminder that St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. We were talking about a player with the Yankees that was crying. Wilmer Flores was doing that the other night. He thought he was traded. Goes back out to shortstop thinking that he's on his way to Milwaukee. The deal was not official, so he's still playing, but with the technology of today, word got out that the trade was there. It was all but done.
Right. Tweeted, of course.
Right. And Flores hits a walk-off home run in the 12th to beat Washington tonight for the Mets. In a 3-game series between those two teams, and that's a huge series between New York and Washington.
Oh, yeah. Battle for first place. The Mets
now,
were 2 back?
Now 2 back.
Now 2 back, right.
How about that? In tears one night, he's gone. Thoughts are everywhere. Hits a walk-off homer tonight.
That's a great story.
Little flare down the right field line and a foul ball. Did you see the video of him? I mean, he
did. Yeah.
It was hard to watch.
It was. It was so thoroughly genuine.
Yes.
His tears were legitimate.
Only organization he had known. He was signed as a 16-year-old by the Mets. Swung on a miss by Drew Stubbs. And the first out here in the 9th inning. The Scott Variety telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Along with Jim Hayes, Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. And here is Ben Paulson with 1 out and a runner at first base. That's a base hit into right center field.
Paulson going up looking for a fastball. He struck out 3 times tonight. Determined to make contact, and he did.
Off the end of the bat, just enough. Now Nick Hundley. 0 for 3 tonight.
Hundley with the long home run off Maness in last night's game.
The Cardinals hold on. Michael Wacha goes to 12-4. Kendrick would take the loss and drop to 4-12. Maness trying to end this ball game with 1 swing and get that double play. Oh, 0-2 the count. And he wins. Strikeout for Maness, his second in the inning, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, Nick Hundley just went too far on that fastball off the plate inside.
We turn to our Budweiser player of the game. Tonight's starter, Michael Wacha, 7 strong innings, 4 hits allowed, no runs, 1 walk. That was that 12-pitch at bat with Carlos Gonzalez. 7 strikeouts, 102 pitches. Our Budweiser player of the game. Brandon Barnes, the final hope for Colorado. A win tonight. The Pirates stay 5.5 games back. Oh, and 2. One-two pitch. This should do it. It's popped up. Who wants it? The second baseman, Garcia, puts it away. The Cardinals are now 66-37. Win number 39 here at home.
Everybody's heard of a tale of 2 cities, of course. We'll talk about a tale of 2 ball games in 24 hours, just totally different.